I called the bottom on the day, 6 months in advance, every single local bottom along the way, and the breakout for free. And then I told you guys I was selling my Bitcoin at 42,500, and people ridiculed me. People ridiculed me at the bottom where they said it was going lower. No, it's going to 12K. It's going to 12K. And people really ridiculed me. No, the bull market's starting. But let me tell you what I think just happened, what they're going to tell you just happened, where I think we're coming from here, and I'm going to tell you also what the altcoins are going to do when we get our real deal pullback that we've called all along. So let's get into it. All right, guys, Bitcoin had a nasty little correction. And when I say nasty little correction, it's literally a 5% candle. But why this actually happened was simply because of $150 million was liquidated from the crypto market over the past 45 minutes. And this is why I always say leverage, liquor, and lady, too much of any will get you absolutely wrecked. And while this happened, all of a sudden, out of nowhere, I haven't heard anything from them, but the bears have woken up from hibernation. Unpopular opinion, Bitcoin is still in a bear market, and it's about to continue. I haven't heard anything from a single bear in months. Bitcoin's up 190%, and now after a 5% dip, the bears have woken up from hibernation. Imagine this, all of 2023 gains wiped out in 1 month after a 5% candle. After a 5% candle, 190% gains wiped out. I don't know about all that, but let me tell you guys what I think is actually going to happen here. This is, I told you guys, 42,500. I sold 15% of my Bitcoin. People ridiculed me. They said that no, Bitcoin is going on its, we're in a bull market. Why would you do that? It's just getting started. Well, that's because I told you that on the weekly time frame, my number on the RSI was 80. The real number was 86, and we were at 84. That was indicator number one for me, that things are getting overheated and it's time to cool off. Indicator number two for me was the fear and greed was an extreme greed. This is the same level that it was to the opposite nearly when FTX collapsed. So extreme greed plus the RSI on a weekly time frame over 84, plus the macro move that we called out months and months ago was 42K as high as 48K. And I told you I was going to be selling 15% at 42,500, and I will sell an additional 15% at 48K, because ultimately I believe that we are going to have a 40% correction as low as 30K for Bitcoin, and then we're going to hang out between 35K and 40K for the better part of 6 months before we finally go off into the real bull market. Now, I would be utterly shocked if we got below 29K. I don't think that that is happening. And in fact, the more that time goes on, the more that bears wake up, and the more that these type of things happen, the more bullish that I'm actually becoming. This is another reason why I was bearish when everyone else was bullish. Articles like this started coming out. Bitcoin price to 500K. I've been bullish the entire bear market. The entire bear market. I was bullish all of this. Up 190%. And the second that I get bearish, now all of a sudden people are in the comments talking about we're just getting started. Well, when you see articles like this, it is a red flag. Bitcoin price to 500K. And look at the chart since they put out this. This is the reason why they will tell you that Bitcoin's pulling back. Senator Warren has an anti-crypto bill, has momentum. That's the reason why it pulled back. But the real reason is $150 million worth of shorts or longs got liquidated, and that's what this is. It's a game. The bears are trying to steal your money, or not the bears, the whales are trying to steal your money. They want to liquidate you at the top, and they want to liquidate you at the bottom. That is their money that you're borrowing. They do not want to give it up for free. So in the micro though, I will say I was bearish at 42K. Once we got above 42K, I was bearish. in the micro, the more bears that wake up, the more bullish that I'm becoming, and the more I actually think that we will, in fact, get our 48K. I'm not willing to shave my head on it because the 0.5 level is technically 42K, and that could very well be it. So that was the first level I took profits. There's a reason that I took profits there, because that is a technical level on a retracement. But if we were to pull a micro fib, that would bring us, the 1618 would bring us to 47,000, and the 2618 would bring us to 51,000 from these liquidation shorts. That is well within the range of what I thought. I said that I think that the body move is going to be about 48K, and we might wick into the 52K. So 47 to 52K, I think is well within range. Ultimately, though, we are going to get a pullback as low as 30K. That is what I've thought all along. And all of the altcoins, what are the altcoins going to do during this massive pullback? We're going to talk about that. And the reason why I also sold at 42K is because I was already up 190%. And me fighting for an additional 10% when the risk from this is 30% to the downside when I'm already up 190% is silly. Silly. Don't join any cults. Always take profits, ladies and gentlemen. But once Bitcoin's finality of this retracement, because that is what this is, essentially from the top to the bottom, retracing all the way up. Bitcoin does this over and over and over, from the top to the bottom, retracing 50 to 70% up over and over and over again. Once the finality of this move is really over, Bitcoin's going to pull back 20 to 40%, okay? 20 to 40%. And what I think is going to happen with the altcoins when Bitcoin gets its real deal pullback, not this little 5% candle that the bears are boo-boo about, the real 40% correction that's coming, 20 to 40% correction. We're going to put altcoins in two different categories. Okay, category number one is Wyckoff accumulation plus the SOS, essentially your cup and handle, the big move to the upside. That's category number one. And category number two is Wyckoff accumulation, no SOS. The coins that have already gotten their big move to the upside, such as Link, such as PYR, such as Naka, such as AIOZ, all of these coins, in my opinion, when Bitcoin gets its real deal pullback, are going to get crushed double at a minimum of what Bitcoin does. So if Bitcoin pulls back 30%, I think these coins could pull back as much as 60%. If Bitcoin pulls back 20%, I think they could pull back as much as 40%. Now, the coins that are Wyckoff accumulation that have not gotten their SOS, I think that profits will be rotated in about 2 weeks, as long as 4 weeks after they could get their SOS. And then after everyone gets their SOS, or most coins get their SOS, the party will be over for everybody, at least for now. And Bitcoin will be hanging out in between 35,000 and 40,000 for the better part of 6 months before we go off and away to the real deal bull run. And the clock is ticking right now with 133 days, 14 hours, 7 minutes, and 20 seconds until the next Bitcoin halving. In my opinion, once we get our big pullback, I can't tell you what you should do, but what I will be doing is accumulating as much crypto as humanly possible. I was bullish, called the bottom on the day when everyone else was bearish. I was bearish when everyone began to be bullish, and now I'm somewhere in between. So that is going to be it for this time. I appreciate every single one of you guys. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, follow me for more, ya savages.
You are now in the presence of a